Aloha and welcome to another episode of the Hawaii Vacation Connection. I'm Bruce Fisher.
How's it going? You got Lanai.
Thanks for tuning in. We got an excellent podcast for you today. We're going to be talking to you about which island to choose when you're coming here to the islands. You know, we've got several islands, 4 major islands and 2 other islands that you want to know about.
I got my favorites.
You got your favorites.
You got your favorites.
Yep, and we're going to be talking about that as we get through the big show. This podcast is brought to you by us. We're the owners of Hawaii Aloha Travel. We're in Hawaii, Hawaii's experts, and you can catch us on the web at hawaii-aloha.com. We're also sponsored by Star Advertiser and It's Hawaii Thing.
Yes.
Which is a very exciting collaboration we're doing here.
Also, thanks for watching us on Hawaii.com.
Yes, at Hawaii.com. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk a little bit about traveling to the islands. Okay, we got 4 major islands: Oahu, which is where we are right now; Maui, Big Island, and Kauai, and then the 2 islands of Lanai and Molokai. Which is your favorite island, by the way?
Well, I'm from Lanai, so before I answer what is my favorite island, let's just make clear. Because people always ask me, how come I can't go to Ni'ihau? You have to be invited by the Robinson family, which is privately owned. And then how come I can't go to Kaho'olawe? Kaho'olawe was the island that the Navy used for bombing practice. So no one can go there unless you're doing a cleanup mission, so to speak. All right?
Do people really ask you that much? I mean, I'm doing this every day. I've never had anybody ask me that.
Every day. People want... Well, it's mostly return people.
Oh, okay.
That'll say, hey, how can I go visit?
Same with Molokai. Yeah, people want to do it.
And you can go visit Molokai and you can visit Lanai. Lanai is privately owned too by Larry Ellison, but it's a resort.
But going back to what you said, you know, I think for people that live here, whatever island they're on is their favorite island. Like, I think, I live on Oahu, so I think Oahu is the best. You talk to people on Maui.
That's why you chose to live here.
That's,
But it's not mine. I live here. It's not my favorite island.
My favorite island to visit is different than the favorite island I would live in. But I just think Oahu's great. We have everything here.
You do, and that's why I live here. But Lanai, to answer your question, is my favorite island. It is a secluded island. Population's 3,000. If you're looking for that place that you want to reset your button, write a book, go on a honeymoon, have a one-on-one with somebody, that's your spot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you go to Kauai, I think you can get that in secluded areas. And if you go to the Big Island, you can get that. But if you want secluded, it's Molokai or Lanai.
Yeah, let me give you my rundown on how I try to explain it to folks. So Oahu is where we are. You know, it's the most populated island. It's very,
the capital.
Yeah, it's very metropolitan with a tropical feel.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of nightlife, a lot of action. It also has the most history.
Yeah.
Then if you look at, I would say that, and you might agree or disagree, I would say that Kauai is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more adventurous, it's the Garden Island. It's the oldest of our Hawaiian islands. If you look at it on the map, it's just a little round circle,
it's
right?
Green,
it's green,
lush.
And there's so many things you can do there, you know, and just drive on your own without having to drive long distances.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. If Oahu and Kauai had a baby, it would be Maui.
Yeah, and Maui would be Oahu 25 years ago, because it's getting to the point where you're getting it to be just like Oahu. But I think my favorite island to visit is Kauai.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all, you know, my favorite is Lanai. My favorite to visit right now is Kauai.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that.
You know what? I forgot to mention earlier, we have a guest coming up who's going to tell us all about Oahu, and that's Kelly Sanders. He's from
awesome.
Highgate Properties Management, the hospitality company. He's going to be here in a little while. I wanted to tell everybody, stay tuned for that.
He knows about travel, and he knows about Oahu as a destination to visit.
Yeah, and those properties he has are amazing.
He's some really nice ones.
So, you know, that's a good way to describe the islands. Those are 4 major islands, but the Big Island, I always say, is big.
It's big, and people don't realize how, if you're going to stay in Hilo or Kona, you're talking about a 3-4 hour drive, maybe 2.5 hours, if you're lucky, if there's no traffic. And they're night and day. Kona's dry, Hilo is wet. You know, you got lush and green in Hilo, and you feel like you're on Mars in Kona. They all have their own personalities, I guess you could say, like every island.
Yes.
And if you can, I always suggest 3 islands to visit on your first trip.
Yeah.
If you can pull it off.
If you could pull it out. I would say, you know...
What would be your 3?
My 3, well, you know, for me personally, I think, you know, you won't have a nice contrast between islands. So I would say Oahu.
Yeah.
And then I would probably say Kauai and Maui.
I would say Oahu, Kauai, and Big Island.
And Big Island.
Yeah, not Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maui,
you're right. Yeah.
I think Maui is...
it's too much like Oahu, in a way.
Well, in a sense, but it's also... You don't have a lot of places to go.
Well, I think you're right. You know, actually, now that I think about what you're saying, you have three really nice contrasts there and three different distinct topographies.
Totally.
You know, the only reason why I kind of say that about the Big Island is because it is so big and there's a lot of driving. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So really, for me, you know, advising people, I always try to listen. You know, what do you want to do?
Well, in Maui, you got three major places to go, which is the Road to Hana, Haleakala, and you know,
Yeah.
So if you make a list, that's not high on the list as far as places to go and see. The Big Island, gosh, you got the Kona Coast, you got the Hamakua Coast, you got coffee farms, you got green sand beach, you got black sand beaches, I mean, there's so many more things to see, I think.
When you think about it, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I think just like Oahu gets a bad rap because people think there are too many people here, I think the Big Island gets a bad rap because people don't think of beaches when they're, but they have some of the most beautiful beaches. So the Hamakua Coast is incredible. The waterfalls there, the botanical gardens. You can go up to Waimea. I mean, it's just and some of the elevations there are.
And don't get me wrong about Maui, because Maui's a beautiful place too, and beautiful waterfalls and everything. But when you're looking at categorizing it, most things to see.
If you had three islands to pick, you know, you want to try and pick three with contrast. But you also, you know, it depends on your family. You know what you're trying to accomplish on your vacation. There's a lot of things involved with deciding.
I think Maui's a resort place. Like when you say resort place, like you can stay in one place.
Well, you know,
you don't have to leave.
Yeah, well, I think also the thing with Maui is you got to remember there's the west side, Kaanapali, and then all the way up to Kapahulu.
Right.
You know, that side, and then there's the south side, which I think they're very different to stay there. So you know, again, it comes down to what you want to do.
What your preference is.
Well, you know, sometimes you're not going to have any nightlife or very little nightlife on the Big Island or Kauai,
or Maui.
Or Maui, there's more nightlife. Would you agree? I mean, they got Lahaina Town.
It's not like it used to. It's more mellow and laid back for sure. Resort. The resort is the word, I think.
You think it's more resort oriented?
Yeah, because people go, they'll stay 4 or 5 days and won't leave the resort.
Maui, he does love Maui, I promise you.
I film
go to
Maui
all the time.
Yeah, I go there for my free time too.
But now we're just talking about which ones we would pick, and I agree. I would have to agree with you. And again, you know, this is something, but this gives you a little bit of an idea of which islands to visit.
What do you think is the most Instagrammable island?
Oh, that's a good one. Photos.
So you can show off where you're at.
Well, Big Island and Kauai, right?
I think Oahu is. Think about how many places you can go and take nice photos.
That's true.
And you can go hiking. Easy is the word.
And it looks spectacular. Like go to Makapu'u, right?
And then 5 minutes
so that makes it Instagrammable. I agree.
And then 5 minutes later, you're at Sandy Beach. And then 5 minutes later, you're at the cliffs, Cockroach Bay.
That's true.
I mean, it goes on and on. Hanauma Bay, 5 minutes later. So when you look at time, if you have to manage your time, and I think that's why more Japanese come here, because Japanese only do like 4 nights. I think Oahu is.
Are people really coming here to take Instagram pictures?
They do.
I know.
I mean, you think about...
You just got the best tip ever
You think about all the social media experts, where do they go first? They come here.
They come here. It is pretty easy to get good shots. Any photog will tell you that about Oahu. All right. So, you know, coming up in a couple of minutes here, we're going to be saying hi to Kelly Sanders. Wave hi, Kelly. Wave hi. He's right there.
What's up, Kelly? Wait, we got to give you our deal of the day.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Our deal of the week. We got to talk about saving some money for you guys. So, Hawaii Aloha Travel's giving it to you, some real money. It's Hawaii's the promo code. Okay. All right. So you just go to our website, hawaiialoha.com/promo, and $200 off your next Hawaii vacation. This includes a $100 activity credit, which you can use for any activity of your selection on any of our excursions. We got the food tour, we got the 5-0 tour, we got a Circle Island tour, we got some cool stuff. Up to $100 on any vacation package, book valued at $1,500.
Right.
All right. So go and check it out. It's Hawaii-aloha.com/promo.
Yep, it's right there on your screen, so make sure you check it out. Aloha, and we are back here with Kelly Sanders. He is the Senior Vice President of Highgate Hospitality. This is a pretty big title.
I know, I just got a big promotion.
Hey, dinner.
It's amazing, right? So I'm thrilled to be with Highgate. They are fairly new to Hawaii, right? They really came to Hawaii in 2014, but prior to that, I worked for Starwood for a long time and oversaw the Sheraton Waikiki, Royal Hawaiian, the Moana Surfrider.
You got a deep resume.
Yeah, especially in Hawaii.
Yeah, what are the properties you have now?
So we have, of course, our flagship hotel, which is the Aloha Resort Waikiki Beach. Beautiful, amazing property. We also have the Aston Waikiki Beach, the Park Shore Waikiki right on the corner, which is a gem in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then we have 4 hotels on Kohio. We have the Hilton Garden Inn, the Courtyard Waikiki, the Ambassador Waikiki, and our little Pearl.
The Hilton they just redid too, right? Now a couple years ago.
Yeah, the Hilton Garden Inn.
Yeah.
So
it's nice,
fully closed and completely redone. It's an amazing hotel. And you think that it's not little. It's 623 rooms, but.
I think they've done a great job because, especially on the Kohio side, there are a lot of older buildings, right? And that needed a facelift.
I think there are 2 corridors in Waikiki now. You have the traditional Kalakaua corridor and the oceanfront, but I think there is this kind of rejuvenated spirit that's happened on Kohio that will continue. And it's exciting to see that you can stay off beach at a very affordable price and a really, really nice property now.
It's a new vibe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, talking about the Aloha and that whole, you talking about a corridor, you have that whole section right there, right where Queen's Beach is. You've got the Aloha, which is pretty bad. How many rooms is the Aloha?
839.
It's pretty large. So you have a nice footprint there.
Whole city block.
Yeah, really?
It's a whole city block.
That's a lot of hotel. That's a lot of hotel.
Trust me, I walk it all the time. That's why I stay so skinny.
I've done like 20 Mother's Day shows there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before, the old hotel.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of history there.
Great history, all surrounding the land, really, of the Aina. And that's where we start in Hawaii, right? So the land is where the beachside cottage home of Queen Liliuokalani's home was. So we pay homage to her through almost everything that we do at the hotel, from the name Aloha, which means heavenly brightness, and was something that the Queen talked about a lot, those beams coming through the clouds and hitting the ocean. Just so beautiful here in Hawaii. So
the decor is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, they guys did an amazing job.
Renovated the rooms, so they're great. And you have some nice. There's that one stack there that has connecting rooms, right? It's sort of on the corner, but it's great for families that can have the 1 bedroom and then get another room, and it's very spacious.
They are
brand
big rooms.
new. Yeah.
The rooms are really good size. And Rockwell out of New York was the designer and super famous. Did an amazing job. And we kept what was true to what was in place when the hotel was built, which is that 280,000 gallon oceanarium.
I'm so glad you kept that.
So amazing.
It's so cool. That is so cool. It's just this oceanarium in the middle of the lobby.
How many stories is that? 3?
3 stories, and then you have a 4-story, which is all just air and sunlight.
Right. I'm glad you guys kept that, because that was iconic to the hotel.
Yeah. And I think that also in working with you guys, as a travel advisor, bringing people in here, one of the things I really admire about, Highgate is this idea that you sort of have autonomy. Each of the hotels are autonomous. They're still doing their own thing, and you can get that personal touch. I mean, I love that I can actually call the hotel, get somebody on the phone, and you will do whatever you can to help a client and also communicate. So do you find that's part of your philosophy to do that?
Yeah, and I think it's easier. Highgate has a philosophy of like independence and allowing our vision and our ability to really work in our own local markets be successful. So we're not driven from the center like a lot of brands drive out programs. We're actually driven from the field. We're creating unique experiences, ways to interact with our customers, and it's exciting. It's what it's attracting not only guests and why guests want to stay with us, but why the best people in Hawaii want to work for us.
Yeah. I think it just comes through in every part of of what they do there at the Highgate properties. You know, it's just you're really a great company to work with. I love booking that. I love booking the Aston Waikiki Beach Hotel. I really do. That's also it's at a great price point.
Yep.
And it seems like you've done some things with that property too, especially with the extra amenity of the clubhouse. What is the club act?
The Coconut Club.
The Coconut Club, and that seems to be sort of something that you're doing with these properties. You can do something like with the Park Shore, maybe.
We have big plans.
Okay.
So with the Aston, you are correct. We've renovated the lobby, redid the pool, and redid the Coconut Club.
Yeah.
It's spectacular space now for guests to enjoy while they're there. We have big plans for our Park Shore. To do some amazing things there in the future. Stay tuned. That's another radio show altogether.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys also have an award-winning chef. An award-winning chef at one of your properties. You want to tell everybody what that is?
Iron Chef Morimoto. Amazing. We have 2 restaurants. We have Morimoto Asia, which is celebrates the chef's favorite dishes from all different Asian countries, which is super cool. And then we have Momo-san, which is, I think it's unique for Waikiki or anywhere here in Oahu. It's an outdoor beer garden, noodle, sake house. So if you want great ramen and a good, nice cold beer or some sake or some shoshu, you got to go to Momo's.
It's great frozen beer there. It's really good.
Yeah, from Japan.
Yeah, we ate there. And the ramen was delicious. Well, just finally, I wanted to just mention that you're involved in a lot of charitable organizations. Even part of People's Stay can go towards some of the charitable organizations. Things like the Diamond Head Theater, which is just launching a whole brand new theater. The American Heart Association. Can you tell us about that a little bit and how that relates to your work and the industry here?
Yeah, we are a small community, right? And so being on an island, everybody has to give and do what they can to help everybody be successful. So I think it's important. I urge every one of my leaders and managers to get involved in some organization and try and help. Sometimes it's just to volunteer. Sometimes it's to actually donate and give back. It's critical in the way we think about making Hawaii work that every resident has to be involved, and that's again a Highgate philosophy in making things work. And you mentioned a few. Super excited. I love Diamond Head Theater, which is a great. Longest running consecutive theater in the U.S.
Iconic to Hawaii.
Yeah, but there's just so many organizations, and I feel like. All of us do so much, but we could always use that extra person. So if you're out there, you're looking for someone to or an organization to help, call me because I know a lot of people in need. Malama, Hawaii, for sure.
Malama, Hawaii. All right. Anything else you'd like to add before you go?
No, just great. Thanks for having me here. I look forward to being on your show again.
And I hope so.
Hopefully, I'll be able to talk about more amazing new things that are happening in our hotel.
Congratulations on everything, Kelly.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here. That'll do it. That'll wrap it up for all of us here at Hawaii Aloha Travel. Hawaii.com and the store advertiser. I'll say aloha and mahalo.
Hui ho.
Mahalo.